that there will be a contract signing tonight between Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax. Angle's about to announce a fatal four-way women's and the Money in the Bank qualifying match, and we got the return of Stephanie McMahon. She was kind of supportive to Kurt Angle in a sense, kind of in a sarcastic manner. She was kind of being positive to Ronda Rousey, trying to kind of forget their past and what happened in the past. It just stays in the past. And then we had everybody's favorite wrestler come down to the ring, Mr. Roman Reigns. Roman says Stephanie better say something to his face. Stephanie says if Roman's temper continues to get the best of him, he should look for another job. Roman says he'll go back there and destroy all her favorite superstar. Stephanie says she doesn't play favorites. Roman mentions Brock, and Stephanie says that they have taken his complaint under his advisement. Roman says enough of the corporate crap. Stephanie says Roman lost his qualifying match. He should take it up with Jinder, which did kind of led to Kevin Owens making an appearance. And at first, I'm thought, oh my gosh, they're gonna put Kevin Owens' Money in the Bank qualifying on the line. They're gonna have it Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens main event. Roman wins, he gets in the Money in the Bank. Kevin Owens obviously loses. Stephanie wasn't playing any favorites last night and made the match to open up Raw, which was Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, which didn't last very long because I think everybody could have guessed what was going to happen. Jinder Mahal gets involved, makes it a disqualification, and guess who makes the save of the day? And that is Seth Rollins. Comes down to Roman Reigns' side, helps Roman Reigns get over on the two, and then it's made into a tag match, which then led to Roman Reigns defeating Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins defeating Owens and Jinder Mahal. But how about that pop last night Seth Rollins got when he came down to save Roman Reigns' ass from the beatdown Jinder Mahal and Kevin Owens were given to him last night? Your thoughts of the opening segment of Raw and the two, I guess, opening matches we got as well?
Yeah, so just tell me, how am I sounding right now?
You sound good. You sound good.
Okay, yeah. So, of course, Stephanie had to get in the segment because, you know, she headed the women's revolution, so she has to be involved with just about anything. So there was that. We'll talk about that later. But in terms of Kevin Owens versus Roman, you know, these two have always had a series of good matches when they feuded. So I had no problem with the match. And like you said, Jinder coming in was predictable. And once again, the modern-day Maharaja saves the day. And, yeah, really the big thing to talk about is, again, guys, Seth Rollins is getting the biggest pop of the night, like week in and week out. Like, you can tell WWE wanted to put Seth Rollins with Roman just so they can try and, you know, spread that cheer onto Roman, which didn't work, of course. But, yeah, I mean, I would have preferred Seth to be in an open IC title match, but I understand why they did it. And, yeah, we got a great beatdown from Jinder Mahal, and we're going to see more at Money in the Bank. Are you excited, Tony? Jinder Mahal versus Roman Reigns in Chicago.
Oh, that's a rough crowd to be against right now. And imagine if they have some possible way, which I don't think they will. I do think another match will main event. But imagine if they have Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal main event Money in the Bank. The crowd, I think that's a possibility of either a lot of verbal chants, like vulgar chants, trash being thrown, or maybe fans actually just walking out, especially since Chicago is getting all in. So, I mean, they're not going to sit through a shit show if they don't have to. Seriously, continue. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like you said, I'm wondering if they're either going to open up with this match or they're going to put it, like I think we talked about it before, like in between the two Money in the Banks to kind of keep the fans from wanting to walk out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it would be smart to not have this show at the end of the night, this match at the end of the night. Now, speaking of Jinder Mahal, Dr. Huge, thank you for the super heart, my man. Appreciate that. Again, I can't see who's in the show, so if you're coming in and I'm not greeting you, my apologies. Periscope's acting up. I can't see who's in here. Just the guys are giving me super hearts. But Dr. Huge, man, thank you very much for the super heart. Huge. Appreciate that. Yes, Jeffrey Cross as well. Thank you. Everybody, I think the usuals are in here as well. But, yeah, it's Periscope acting up. Speaking of Jinder Mahal, he gets an IC title match next week on Raw, keeping that open challenge that Rollins is having every week, apparently. So we'll see what's going on with that. So Jinder Mahal, Seth Rollins. Any early predictions for that match next week?
Yeah, Rollins will retain, and it'll probably involve Roman getting involved with shenanigans, and yeah, it'll build more towards Roman and Jinder for Money in the Bank.
Could this possibly be Jinder Mahal's best match ever? Hey, what's up, Architect? How you doing? I mean, granted, I'm not the biggest Jinder Mahal fan. I'm not going to be here and say that I've always been behind Jinder Mahal. I do think he works hard and deserves, some of the credit to where he's at. But he's starting to rub off a little bit on me. He's doing some good work on Raw. I think he can have a good match with Seth Rollins if he's given the right amount of time and we don't get some stupid shenanigans, which we will get. I'm sure we're going to see the Singh brother get super kicked or stomped or something's going to happen next week.
Yeah.
I just hate these matches because I'll be honest, I thought tonight's main event was going to be predictable, but it wasn't. I think this match has Roman Reigns getting involved 100%. Helping Rollins win, but we'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw.
Crazy. When you think about it, by the time this whole segment with all four guys was done, that was the first hour of Raw. Like that. Like when all this whole segment ended, it was already like 8:55. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Oh, happy birthday, Chris Surratt. I hope I didn't butcher your name. God, thank you for coming in here on your birthday. Appreciate it. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, it took about an hour of Raw's opening hour, and also Rollins gets the win. He's the one who pins, I believe, Kevin Owens. So, I mean, that does kind of mean a little bit, I guess. They're giving Rollins the pin. Obviously, this was probably so the fans could cheer. Because if Reigns got the pin, I'm not sure if fans would have been cheering after that. But let's get to the most awesomest segment last night. I'm talking probably the best segment of 2018, and that is Bobby Lashley. Is this, what would you even fucking call this? Travesty, disaster, garbage, a house fire, dog shit, stepping on gum in the parking lot. This was what this was. This was cringy. This was bad. I think we all kind of knew that this was going to happen, that we were going to probably get 3 women dressed up like men or 3 women, ditzy women or something, along the lines of what we got last night. But it was even worse. And we thought The Life of Bailey or whatever the hell it was called, This Is the Life of Bailey, we thought that was bad. I thought this was horrible. And I tweeted out, why did we deserve this, Vince McMahon? Why? Why did the fans have to sit through this and watch this bullshit after you just signed a 5-year, $1 billion contract? $1 billion, and not 1 million, billion dollar contract with Fox. And then you have this piece of shit handed out on a platter to all the WWE fans.
Well, you answered yourself perfectly, Tony. When they're making it as much, they just made a shit ton of money. This just shows that WWE can still make a crap ton of money and put absolutely no effort in. Vince was probably like, we just hit the bank today. Well, yeah, this is gonna be funny. Make it happen. Make it happen.
Right, and I know Vince is not a big fan of cigarettes, but I'm sure last night he was sitting in Gorilla with his feet up, with a fat ass cigar in his mouth and lighting it with a fucking $100 bill. I'm sure he was doing that shit last night. I mean, come on now.
On the table.
Laughing, knowing that the fans are hating what they're seeing on TV, but he is fucking cracking up in the gorilla position. He was. He was laughing it up last night. He thought that was probably the best segment ever. Should we even talk about this? Sami Zayn came out, pretty much said what he said last week, that what Bobby Lashley was saying was a lie, and we had 3 guys come out dressed like women and basically said that Lashley was bullies to them, and which then led to Bobby Lashley coming down, and they got in a little scuffle. This is probably leading to a match with Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley at Money in the Bank. Now, why in the fuck, excuse my language, why are they doing this to us? Why is this like a slap to the face to Bobby Lashley for him leaving, or for him coming from where he came from, or if they're trying to is this like they're going to give him some tough spots at the beginning of his return and see how he can handle it? I mean, I don't know what. And Sami Zayn, bless his heart, is put in this horrible situation, and I'm sure he's thinking in his mind, this is fucking failing. I mean, go ahead, Alex. I don't know what else to fucking say.
I tweeted about this last night. I don't know who I feel the worst for, us, the fans, Sami Zayn, or even Bobby Lashley. Because, okay, first of all, Sami Zayn tried his very best to work with this shit-ass segment. But, guys, the minute the, quote, sisters came out, you could hear the crowd just groaning collectively. It got little to no reaction, which I was happy for because it was just shit to begin with. And like you said, guys, I know I'm hard on Bobby Lashley, but I'm willing to give him a chance. But this is not doing me any favors. Okay, you just had him as a guy come in, squashed Elias. Okay, you had him at the Rumble, fine. Then you had him with this sit-down segment with Renee Young, and then now you have this involving Bobby Lashley. I know a lot of people say that a lot of people have been saying This Is Your Life was worse, but how does Bobby Lashley benefit from this? Where is this walking Armageddon that you guys are talking about? As far as I'm concerned, Bobby Lashley can go on main event at this point. Like he's been booked as an absolute joke. He's looked like another guy, and Sami Zayn.
Brendan After's in here. What's up, dude?
Sami Zayn deserves absolutely better, and I don't know what I want to know what the hell they were passing around in the creative room, because I want to get a fucking ounce of that, because that must have been some potent ass shit they were smoking, because I don't know who, like, when they left gorilla position said, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Like,
and you know that they rehearsed this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know they rehearsed this, and they said, yeah, man, that's perfect. I can't wait to see this live. Are you kidding me? Like,
and I know a lot of people are saying, like, it's not Bobby Lashley's fault. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you're not doing me as the viewer any favors to actually care about Bobby Lashley. Like, yeah, what reason have you given me to say he's just another guy that Vince decided to bring back? And yeah, maybe there is something to Vince still being a little petty with the way him and Lashley fell out.
And the thing too is, like, it's the most randomest shit ever. Like, all of a sudden, we're going to have a sit-down interview with Bobby Lashley, and all the things we're going to talk about is his fucking sisters. Not about anything else but his fucking sisters and how they beat the shit out of him. Like, that's the most randomest ever anything. Like, not about his past or his MMA career or, anything like that. It seems like you got to try to erase that part of Bobby Lashley, and this is a new Bobby Lashley that they're trying to introduce you to.
Do you know the only positive response this? Do you know this only positive response this segment got is when Bobby Lashley's music hit and the crowd knew that the segment was coming to an end.
Right.
I'm serious.
Right.
That's how bad it was.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I can't disagree with you on that. Again, if everybody, thank you again. This is Get the Tables podcast. This is episode 132. Thank you guys for joining us on this Tuesday evening and ranting and bitching with us. Again, Justin wasn't able to join us tonight due to connection issues. And again, as you all know, Dave tweeted out that he will be missing the show for a couple of weeks. So if you don't mind, send some positive vibes toward Bizarre One. I think it'll help him a lot in these tough times. But yes, Justin is in the chat room chatting away with everybody. I can't see who's in the Periscope. So I apologize if I'm not greeting everybody who's popping in here. I can't even see who's joining, which is bullshit. So thank you guys for joining us. And joining me and Alex tonight. Again, speaking of Alex tonight, Alex will be live tweeting NXT tomorrow night. and will be joining us on Thursday night for the Impact and NXT post show. So hope you guys will be joining us on Thursday evening. We find out who the king is, the guy that apparently took out Conan. So that should be interesting. All right, so let's move on.
Last thing about it.
Go ahead.
We've been talking so much about how just our general attitude is with the WWE guys. When you give me a segment like this, and we'll talk about overall how we felt about Raw. I'm definitely getting. Yesterday was definitely pushing me closer to just taking a break from Raw. SmackDown, I will not stop watching. NXT for sure, but Raw itself, man, it was such a struggle last night, man. I really wanted it to end.
It's basically saying we're gonna give you a shit show, and we dare you to watch something else. Basically, because right now, yeah, WWE stock is soaring. I can't deny that. I mean, but doesn't mean that what they're giving us on TV is great, because it's absolutely. I mean, speak of Raw side at least, it's not.
No.
And to not bash on this too much longer, so we can move on with the show. Right now, there's nothing else on. Playoffs in the NBA are on, but it's hit or miss if it's on a Monday night. And if it's not, what else is on? Nothing really else is on. Sitcoms, stuff like that. So they're basically saying, don't watch our show? Fuck you. We don't care. I mean, what I read, they got the lowest ratings they've gotten all of 2018. And you know what Vince McMahon's probably saying?
You got your money.
I don't fucking care. Throwing money up in the fucking air. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. And last thing, and we'll move on. It's bad when you have a 3-hour show, and I can literally just YouTube 3 clips, and that will give me an idea of how Raw was last night.
Right. Yeah.
But like you said, they got our money.
Yeah, they got that sellout last night. They got all that merch sell, and all that. Everyone was watching The Voice finale and Dancing with the Stars finale. Oh, really? Well, there you go. Cesaro and Sheamus held Raw together. Now it's crap. Oh, so now okay, we got Cesaro and Sheamus fans here. I think they moved Road Dogg to Raw. Ouch. Y'all. I mean, Road Dogg must get some. I would love to read Road Dogg's mentions one day after like a real bad SmackDown, because man, I'm sure they're brutal. All right, so after that we had Ember Moon take on Alexa Bliss, 2 women that are in the Money in the Bank match and Money in the Bank for the briefcase. But the match was, what it was. Obviously, Alexa Bliss is in no women's land, I should say. She's not going to be doing anything relevant. I don't think she stands any chance in the Money in the Bank match, and they're building up Ember Moon quite well. She's going to probably have some great momentum going into the Money in the Bank match. Possibly an early favorite. Your thoughts on the singles match we got last night?
Like you said, it wasn't a bad match, but it was just nothing memorable. I wonder if Bliss, if I was Alexa Bliss, I would be walking with the biggest smile on my face saying, "Now I'm not the one remembered for the shittiest segment ever. Sorry, Sammy." I'm sure he gave her a nice little hug before coming out there. But yeah, no. Like you said, nothing to write about. I'm just waiting for Ember Moon to do that eclipse off the ladder. I guess the only other thing to say is I feel bad for Mickie James. Just being Alexa Bliss's lackey is just not. She deserves so much more, and we'll talk about it. But hopefully next week she gets another chance to shine.
And speaking of Mickie, thank you, Bot, for the super hard. Thank you. Speaking of Mickie James, can we just give her a round of applause, man, for her age and looking smoking? I mean, seriously. I mean, when I'm 40 years old, I want what she's drinking. I want that special water that she's drinking, because goodness gracious, man.
It's that country music career.
I don't know what it is, but Nick Aldis, you're a lucky man, bro. Whatever you did to get her,
that's true,
my friend. So after that, we had an awesome smashing. Oh shit! Oh wow, Red Sox fan with the that one's a low blow. He said, "I thought I was 40." Oh, low blow. She's 38. Really? I thought she was 40.
No, she's
30. He's 38. Okay, I apologize.
Oh,
My
that's
apologies. But Red Sox fan. You know what? You know what Red Sox fan is? He's a fuck face. That's what Red Sox fan is.
Yes.
He's a fuck face. So we'll just go there. We had the awesome backstage segment between Balor and Strowman last night. Balor and Strowman into the office, and Balor demands a rematch against McIntyre and Ziggler. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I can go with that. Another rematch. I don't mind that. But then Stephanie says Braun might blame Balor for coming up short last week. Stephanie says that they're not an official tag team. And then fucking makes that the main event of Raw last night. So the main event of Raw, everybody, was Braun Strowman versus Finn Balor. Okay. Anyways, everybody's favorite Get the Tables on the Get the Tables podcast. No way. Jose had a rematch between Baron Corbin last night. And I'm going to tell you this, man. I saw a lot of tweets of it last night, and I absolutely agree with them. They need to do a hair versus hair match between No Way Jose and Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin needs to give up, bro. Just give up, dude. The hair is. I think, yeah, maybe it was you, Baba Ruski. I saw a couple people tweet it out. Man, it needs to go, dude. Like, seriously, it's just not a good look. You look like those old men that are trying to keep the good old days going. You know what I mean? It's just
all he's missing is like this like terrible comb over.
Yeah, so they just need to just get rid of it. But anyways, Corbin takes the win. There's really nothing to talk about, but Corbin.
It shows you what the ceiling is for No Way Jose. I mean, we all predicted it, but you know, when you have No Way Jose is actually, he's not a small guy. He's not bad in the ring. It's just when you have a music gimmick like this, there's only a certain level you can reach. And Corbin pinning him cleanly will tell you exactly where he's going to be in a few weeks. And yeah, I still don't see what rumors came out that said they still see a big star in Corbin, because he's still boring as shit.
Now, I've been watching a lot of the Bruce Pritchard and Conrad on WWE Network. I highly suggest you watch it. I just watched the Rowdy Piper one today. Very, very good.
Yeah.
You think No Way Jose, say 25 years ago in the 80s, 90s, would have been a very popular wrestler? I think he would.
I think if has the same role, I mean, I think that isn't his role the same now. He's just used for comedic relief.
Because look at some of the guys that were popular back in the days in the WWF. Now WWE, of course. There was a lot of joke guys out there that. Thank you, Michael Berry, for the super heart. Appreciate that.
Oh, you mean that colorful style?
Yeah, that colorful guy. He's not very. He doesn't do nothing serious. Like, he'll never win a title, but he's that guy that's still a fan favorite. He always goes out there. He wins though. Who's a guy? Who's a good example? Like a Coco Beware. Was he ever taken seriously? Like back in the day, Coco Beware, but he was a fan favorite. People loved him. The Godfather, yeah, I guess so. Like the Bushwhackers, yes. That's a good example, right? Like, they're a joke, but fans absolutely fucking love them. That's what I think of when I think of like late. That's why I think Vince McMahon loves those dancing comedic type of wrestlers. It reminds him when he was commentating. But anyways, we had a backstage segment with Chad Gable, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre, which then led to Kurt Angle making a singles match between Chad Gable and Dolph Ziggler. And I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, the chances of us almost getting Drew McIntyre and Chad Gable. Imagine that match. Drew McIntyre and Chad Gable.
Like at the
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying we might get the.
Yeah, so we had the tag match with the I don't know. I mean, it might be true. You might be over exaggerating a little bit, but the most over tag team currently on Raw, the B team, with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel taking on Breezango, and the B team wins. And they had a celebration like no other. Jumping on the announce table, riding a rolling chair down the ramp a la Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, this team, it's another comedic tag team, but again, they're over with the crowd. All right, Alex, by SummerSlam, or is this your tag team champs?
Yeah, I think so. I just got to say, them coming out drawing in their merchandise, that popped me so hard yesterday, especially after the crap we were kind of getting before. That was just hilarious. And yeah, they are a comedic tag team. But you know what? So was Breezango, and Breezango was immediately taken off TV right away. But these guys are still getting segments. They're getting their wins, regardless if it's against, no offense to Breezango, a team like that, and jobbers. Like, maybe they are building towards a match against Matt and Bray. And honestly, I'm ready for Matt and the Woken Lovers to lose the titles. I mean, they weren't even on the show tonight.
No, they were not. They were not even on Raw. They did have like a little interview with Matt Hardy, but I don't think it made Raw. It was just on the social media account. So, yeah, the B team are very popular right now. It's just curious to see what they do with them in the future. I definitely see a match, possibly maybe Money in the Bank, between the B team and the Woken Lovers. If you guys don't know who the Woken Lovers are and you're new to the show, that is Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Wow. Adam Bomb says, I completely forgot that they were the tag champs. Wow. Hey, Bizarre One. Hey, man, thanks for popping in. Just wanted to pop in and say hi and have a great show. Thanks, Bizarre One, man. Appreciate that, dude.
I've honestly forgotten about the tag division. Like, that's how much they care about this booking.
Yeah, man, I agree. Thanks for again. If you don't mind, everybody, can you please share the broadcast on Periscope? A lot of you guys follow each other on here, and for some reason, guys are not getting the notifications, man. And Periscope is really testing my buttons, man. Some of these guys are not getting the notifications. Some of you are, some of you aren't on certain shows. It's just weird. So again, first of all, Periscope's not showing me who's joining in the show and all this other good stuff. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. So next we had the Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax contract signing. And at first I'm like, I'm not sure how this is going to go. Well, actually it was not that bad of a segment. We had Stephanie McMahon trying to ruffle the feathers between Ronda and Nia Jax. Steph says Nia might become the baddest woman on the planet. Steph says why it took so long to beat Alexa and win the title. Steph asks how long will it take for Ronda to get her in the armbar. Steph also says Ronda, if she can get Nia in the armbar. Then Nia grabs the mic, says she can't get her in the armbar in the armbar. She says she will beat her at Money in the Bank. They both have a little stare down, which really didn't lead to anything. At least we didn't see no handshake and hug or anything. And this to me has this situation written all over it, where Ronda Rousey will win Sunday at Money in the Bank. And either the night after or that night, Natalya is going to cash in on her. Yep.
What a waste of Money in the Bank.
Yeah. I just have a feeling that that's what they're going to do. And it's going to lead to to Natalya and Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam.
And you know what? And I'm not saying that doesn't. I disagree with that. That is logical, but like I said, that's such a waste of using the Money in the Bank just to make that for Rousey and Natalya. You know what I mean? Like that Money in the Bank briefcase could be done better in so many other hands and building up your other women wrestlers. But hey, let's see what happens in Chicago.
I just have that feeling that's just, you can't say it's not far-fetched because it does kind of have the writing on the wall. And then Natty has the damn qualifying match last night, and she wins it. And and I tweeted that. This has Natty doing that, cashing in on Rounder even before the match, and she won. So, of course, we'll have our predictions, the week of Money in the Bank. But to me, this just seems like it has Natty winning Money in the Bank, Ronda getting her moment, and then Natty automatically crushing it. And
so Natalya losing her first one.
Yeah, I mean, does that bother you that Natalya gives Ronda Rousey her first loss?
Yeah, no offense to Natty. She's a great worker, but it's Natalya. No, I'm serious. Like, how credible is that Natalya is going to be the first person to beat Ronda Rousey, who you're trying to build up as a big one? And this goes back to me just saying they should have never booked this match. You could have easily had Rousey against another woman like a Dana Brooke, and it would have still created the same buzz. You could have had Nia Jax squash someone else. And you would have still gotten the same. You would have still gotten Rousey on it. You could have still put Natalya versus Rousey, and you didn't need Rousey to get a loss. I think it's a stupid idea for, and I'm not saying it's. I think if that's what WWE's thinking, I think it's a stupid idea if Natalya gives Rousey her first loss.
Yeah, I think they should have went with Nia Jax, Ruby Riott, and then had either you have Mickie James take on.
Yeah, what's wrong with Mickie James versus Rousey?
Singles match, maybe have Natalya at ringside, be like a little bit of a enforcer, kind of a thing. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks and see if they actually kind of tease maybe tension between Natalya and Ronda Rousey. Next week on a Raw, a 7-women elimination match winners last week. Yep. Gauntlet match. Sure, we'll be touching on that. Dan, we already talked about Natalya qualifying, but we got I will touch on this in a minute. Yeah, Chad Gable take on Dolph Ziggler. Solid match. Ziggler gets the win, and then Drew attacks Chad afterwards. I thought for a minute maybe we'll get Jason Jordan returning, but someone on Twitter did make a good point. Do you think they bring back Jason Jordan and make him a tag team, even though, and we remember WWE doesn't always remember these little tidbits of things that they say, that Kurt Angle did bring back Chad for singles competition. But you know how WWE is. They forget about shit like that. Do you think they bring back Jason Jordan just to help him for this one occasion, or do you think they bring him back as a tag team?
I can see American Alpha reuniting. I mean, what else are they going to do for Chad? I mean, it's not like Chad Gable's going to be doing anything, and it'll be a good way to get Jordan back in after recovering from the surgery. So yeah, well, to all the people that called the American Alpha reunion, props to you. I mean, those should be some great matches. By the way, I'm all for it.
Of course, imagine those tag matches.
Of course, I want McIntyre to crush everyone, including Ziggler, but we'll see.
That eventually will probably happen in the near future. But yeah, everybody, how about this match that we got for the first time ever? Bobby Roode taking on Elias, a match that I haven't seen before. How about you, Alex?
Oh no! This is the match I've been waiting for, guys. This is what saved Raw for me.
Yeah, I was hoping to see Bobby Roode and Elias for the third fucking straight week in a row, and we got it last night. Again, we had Bobby Roode take on Elias, and I am an Elias fan, but what in the God? Oh, I don't even know what to say. What? Why? Why? They might as well just say they're going to have a best of 7. Just do that, man. Just have a best of 7. I would rather you just say, okay, Bobby Roode Elias is going to be a best of 7 series. You have that playoff itch. You want to do it in Raw. And Raw, they did it with Sheamus and they did it with Cesaro. Screw it. Just do that. I mean, Elias gets the win. Anything you want to say about this? Because we're probably going to get it next week, too.
Elias, guys, he literally sang a song about the crowd telling them how much they love him. Like, that's just gold. He's so damn over. And, I mean, hey, man, I said this last week. I just don't care about Bobby Roode anymore. Like, WWE has made him just another guy who's completely miscasted as a face, and there's nothing here for him. So, and the sad thing is, it's gotten to the point where I was hoping Elias won because, to tell you the truth, Elias has momentum. He shouldn't be losing to Bobby Roode, and it sucks because we've talked about how many times we know how glorious Bobby Roode can actually be. But yeah, so good job WWE making guys.
And why is I still don't understand why you don't have Bobby Roode in the Money in the Bank match, a guy that just lost to Elias, but you don't have Elias in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah. And it's not like Raw. Think about it, Tony. What heels are on Raw? Like legit heels are on Raw, like top heels.
I can't really name.
Sammy.
I mean, Jinder Mahal, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
Sammy's not booked as it. Kevin Owens has been losing. We really need a big time heel, and I think Bobby Roode can absolutely fill that role if they see that. So
if they booked him the correct way, of course.
I hope so, but yeah, we'll see what happens next week in match number 7.
Yeah, because we're gonna definitely get this match again. I wouldn't doubt it. Legit heels really don't exist that much with them being cheered on main. Yeah, that's true. But there is some certain guys that can get booed, and I forgot who it was. Someone made a perfect example of who's hated on the most.
Jinder.
Not Jinder.
Jinder gets booed.
Ciampa. Ciampa is
the
only pure heel that's in the wrestling and WWE right now. And he doesn't get no fans cheering for him at all. It's just nothing but boos. And we don't get that much anymore, at least on the main roster. Let's get to the main event, which was a doozy. Strowman and Balor. Strowman obviously picks up the win. I actually thought the main event wasn't too bad, better than I thought it was going to be, especially given it's Braun Strowman and Finn Balor, the David versus Goliath type of thing. Finn Balor held his own, obviously takes the loss. Strowman kind of shows him a little bit of respect after the match by picking him up and putting him in the corner, a la kind of like Undertaker, Jeff Hardy back in the day. No love for Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke held her own in the qualifying match. I thought she should have been at least considered. And she may win it next week. You never know.
By the way, Tony, who do you have winning that next week? The last chance thingy.
I'm gonna go Sasha Banks.
Okay, I have Ruby Riott or Mickie James.
I would love Ruby Riott, man. Just since there's no Riott Squad in there. I
think he could add much needed in-ring talent to that ladder match, so I'd be happy with that.
I agree with you, absolutely. And what do you think of the main event last night?
I didn't give 7 shits about this match. Okay, look. I get it, guys. It wasn't a good match, but when it comes to Raw, when you have no long-term booking, you're just booking shit on the fly. That's 1. 2, what is I said this last night because every time Balor comes out, Cole says it's the extraordinary man who does extraordinary things. What was the last extraordinary thing that Balor has done since he's been on the main roster? This is my rant because I love Prince Devitt, I love Balor. I love Fergal. Like, listen, he came to the roster, got the Universal title, got injured. That sucks. I totally agree. Came back, was relegated to nothing. He was put in a shitty feud with Bray Wyatt, almost destroyed him if Bray Wyatt didn't get sick. He got buried by Kane. How many times? He got this shitty one-night reunion with the club that everyone got so excited for, yet it amounted to nothing. And he doesn't even do the demon gimmick anymore, which made him somewhat interesting. And all he does is smile. That's it. What made me believe tonight at any moment that Balor was going to stand a chance against Braun or that I should care about this match? So they have nothing for Balor, so I don't give a shit already. They don't have anything for Braun ever since they found out that Brock was re-signing with the WWE, and they gave him nothing at WrestleMania. They put him with random tag teams. And they're just just doing matches for the sake of doing it. So no, I don't care about this match. I didn't care about it. You can give me good matches. I can watch NXT. I can watch New Japan. I can watch Impact for that. But you're not giving me any long-term booking to care about any of these two. So fuck off, Raw.
Well, all right, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tony. Like, what interests you about Balor? His smile, his abs.
Well, I was gonna say. First off, I saw Brian. We used to have a segment on the show called "Putting Through a Table." Who are we gonna put through the table this week? And it was like, worst segment of the week or Raw and SmackDown Live. And I think we're gonna be bringing that back next week for specifically stuff like that.
I like that.
I remember when 2018 first started, and I said maybe this might be the year for Balor because things were looking a little bit positive for Finn Balor, and things were looking on the up and up, and things looking a little bit positive. And I was absolutely fucking wrong, and I apologize for that because my goodness gracious, man. Since 2018 first started and he was on that little bit of a momentum swing, it's just been back to what was in 2017. No man's land. He's just there. He's just there to put on good matches and lose for the most part. Not sure why they couldn't move him to SmackDown Live. I think he would have benefited a lot from that. Look at the club for an example. Look how better they're doing on SmackDown Live. They seem a lot in better spirits. And I think Finn needed that. He's stuck on a roster full of gigantic stars like Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar. You can even throw Seth Rollins, just to name a few. And he's there in a tough spot. He's there, and nobody believes in him. And
it seems like he decided already his role in the WWE. A guy that can give you good matches. He's a good-looking guy, so he'll sell merchandise.
He's our version of Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. So what else? What else can you do?
Yeah. So it's a shame, and I know it's funny because we went to NXT Saturday, as everybody knows. They showed the match between Rollins and Balor, and it sucks because they show the exact moment of when Finn gets thrown into the corner, and that injury was pretty brutal. And he finished the match. Like, Vince should open his eyes and say he may be small and he may be scrawny, but this man has an extremely big heart, and for him to wrestle through that pain and have that type of injury and wrestle through that match, that should show Vince that this man is no weakling or he's no small guy. He has a gigantic Big Show heart. So, shame. It's a shame. All right, this is probably going to be easy for everybody. So everybody, get your rating fingers ready. Excuse me, Alex. Mind you, I think last week you gave Raw a 0 as well. No, you actually gave Raw a 1. And the following week, I believe you gave Raw a big fat 0. Let's see. No, you gave it a 2. So Raw, for the most part, has been a little bit back and forth on you. But tonight, go ahead.
So Raw is a 3-hour show, so let's give it a -3.
Oh my God. -3.
Yeah, no. It was god awful.
Yeah. Raw was not good last night. I'm gonna give it a 0.5.
Hey, yeah, so what's the 0.5 for?
The 0.5 this is for the Ronda segment, I guess.
Okay. At least, like you said, they didn't shake hands. I mean, they didn't like hug or whatever. So I'll give you that.
The Ronda segment wasn't bad. She held her own. It was a nice little standoff. We didn't get the old someone goes through a fucking table routine. I did like how Rousey threw a little jab at Stephanie, asking her how her arm was. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, other than that, Raw was absolutely crap. And like I talked to you guys on Saturday, like we talked about is, taking a break from doing these wrestling shows, and 'cause right now it's tough to even watch a 3 hour Raw at that sometimes. Hey, I feel you, Texas kid. Sorry, I haven't been in much lately. I haven't really felt motivated to. Hey, it's all good, bro. It's all good. Wrestling right now hasn't been the greatest, but glad you came in here. Appreciate it. So when you get Raws like that, for an example, makes you not want to watch Raw on a weekly basis and sit through a 3 hour show. It's tough. It's
Yep.
real tough. It's real tough. And you guys on the East Coast, I don't know how y'all do it. Staying up till 11 o'clock, watching Raw. I'll be falling asleep if I got shit shows like that, especially in the 10 o'clock hour. Right there, that's when it's dragging. And it's tough. I can only imagine. So Raw last night was a pretty much a shit show. So let's go to SmackDown Live tonight, where we had Miz TV open up the show. He did announce that on July 24th, everybody, that his new show, I'm not sure what it's called, is it
Ms. and Mrs.
Ms. and Mrs. That's correct. There you go. Yeah, Ms. and Mrs. will air at 10 p.m. on the USA Network. So right after SmackDown Live. So, Alex, do you find yourself ever checking out an episode of Ms. and Mrs.?
I would watch that over Bellas, that's for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of Total Bellas, John Cena and Nikki Bella, a lot of news coming out on that, and we will definitely be touching on that on Saturday night show. Miz TV opened up with a New Day, pretty much trying to figure out who is going to be in the Money in the Bank.
Tony.
Yes.
I know we're going to talk about it Saturday, but Total Bellas drew the lowest rating ever last night. I'm so happy.
Wow.
Okay, sorry, go on.
So the John Cena breakup didn't work. Pretty much opened up Raw with Miz TV, trying to figure out which New Day member is going to be in the Money in the Bank. They pretty much all teased that each one of them was going to be in it. One said, I think Big E said Kofi. Kofi said Xavier, and Xavier said Big E. So they were just kind of playing it up to messing with Miz, which then led to Miz saying, I can beat any of you anytime, any place, which then led to the opening match of SmackDown Live, which was Big E giving a chance to take on The Miz. We had the Bar get involved to distract Big E. The Miz took advantage of that and hit him with the skull-crushing finale and defeated Big E and the New Day. And we were also informed that next week we got a 6-man tag match between the New Day versus the Bar and the Miz. Your thoughts of the opening segment and match of SmackDown Live?
Yeah, I mean, already SmackDown is doing better than Raw when you open up with the Miz. I mean, it was an entertaining segment, and I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but the Miz is low key plugging in his feud with Daniel Bryan. If you ever notice, he'll say stuff like, I know what everyone has on their mind. I know what you all want, who you all want me to talk about. So let's just do it. And there's a pause. And then, of course, he throws it off with, like, saying the Miz and Mrs. So props for doing that. With that said, hey, guys, I've always said the New Day's stale. I'm ready for singles runs. I really hope it's Big E that gets in the match. I understand they need some high flyers, but man, I would love to see a throwdown between Braun Strowman and Big E. Like, I think Big E really needs a breakout performance, and everything The Miz said was 110% correct about him. So the match itself was fine. Of course, you had the Bar shenanigans come in, so that happened. I love that spot Kofi did where he kicked off of Sheamus to land on Cesaro and start beating him down, so that was fun. With that said, we got a 6-man tag. I don't know. I don't care for the Bar. I think they should split up. I definitely don't want to see more of the Bar in New Day. I'm hoping Sanity kind of gets involved there. But yeah, it was no complaints on the opening segment overall.
This side, hoping for a singles run for New Day is like hoping for a heel turn for Cena.
Still you can still keep them together for the sake of merchandise and the house shows, but the same way Xavier Woods was in that U.S. tournament, I would love to see Big E like just basically going for the world title or even the U.S. title at this point.
Okay, so I hope it's Big E in the Money in the Bank, but something tells me it's probably going to be Kofi or Xavier just for the high flying stuff.
Right.
You know how Kofi definitely is known for the crazy spots in matches like this. So I think we mostly will get probably Kofi in it. What got you more upset, Lashley's segment or Bliss losing? Lashley by far. Bliss, I already know what's in line for Bliss. That was just absolutely garbage.
Yeah.
So yeah, Big E takes the loss on that. Daniel Bryan gets an interview backstage because if you guys didn't know, we'll catch you up a little bit. Cash was taken out of the match between Samoa Joe and himself to get the last qualifier for the Money in the Bank. They're playing up his knee injury created by Daniel Bryan, of course. So they made a match, a second chance match, which was between Jeff Hardy and Daniel Bryan tonight. And the winner, by God, I mean, any one of these guys would have been fine with me, goes on to takes on Samoa Joe next week for the last spot in the Money in the Bank. Daniel Bryan talks about what the Money in the Bank means the world to him, and no one knows better about second chances than he does, and now he treats every moment like a second chance and says Jeff Hardy is a legend and a very difficult mountain to climb, but tonight he takes the legend out. Wow, calling Jeff Hardy a legend, that's pretty cool by Daniel Bryan, calling Jeff Hardy a legend, because in my side, he is a legend, believe it or not.
And I love that Daniel Bryan really combining his American Dragon babyface persona now. Because like you said, he's such a legend. And tonight I'm going to tap out that legend. I just love this side of Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Daniel,
Now, do you think past injury is him just working and selling it off really well, or do you think there's legitimacy to it?
I don't know, man. It's tough to say. He doesn't do the stuff that he used to. So, like, it does make me think that the injury does play a part in how he wrestles. You don't see him doing the flying headbutt out the ring. You don't see him doing any type of head moves at all that involve his head doing any type of impact on an opponent. So maybe he has changed up his style and it's working. Now, will WWE be comfortable enough to put him in a ladder match? That's the iffy thing. That's the big what if. He takes a shot to the head by a ladder on accident.
Yeah.
Or takes the spot off the ladder and, lands wrong.
Yeah, so we'll have my question for you. Do you think the knee injury is a work, or do you think there's some legitimacy to it?
See, I've heard different stories, and I think it is a work, because I do think he'll get involved in a match next week.
Yeah.
And I do think this is a little bit of WWE's way of keeping him strong, because I think if you put him in a match with Samoa Joe, they don't want either to lose, I think. And you have Cass beat Samoa Joe, that hurts Samoa Joe to me, in my opinion.
Yep.
And I think it's better for you have Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe next week, and you have Cass get involved. Doesn't make Daniel Bryan look weak if he loses because Samoa Joe gets help, quote unquote gets help. So we'll see how that goes. But we had Lana versus Billie Kay in a qualifying match for the Money in the Bank, and Lana gets the win. So Lana is in the Money in the Bank match. Your thoughts?
Oh, you guys want to hear my thoughts? Okay, let's see. Fuck Rusev and his Rusev did, because that is the only reason Lana won this match. Let me tell you what the Iconics have been doing. The Iconics debuted on April 10th. They cost Charlotte the debut, big whoop. So you have a post-debut NXT call-up. That's cool. They got one win over Asuka and Becky Lynch. And then you had Peyton Royce lose her qualifying match to Charlotte, right? Then you had Peyton tap out also in a tag match. And then you had Billie Kay lose to freaking Lana, who can't even pick up a ladder as far as I'm concerned. And what does that tell me about NXT call-ups? Nothing. You get them called up, there's the big hype, and then nothing. And people are going to tell me, Alex, wait, like this isn't their time now. They'll be fine. Okay, but why would I care later with what I'm seeing right now? Like that's isn't the whole point of this Money in the Bank to give you star-making performances out of each participant? And let's face it, Billie Kay, she's not freaking she's not like a Medusa in the ring, but damn it, she's way better than Lana. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't care about this, and I really hope they don't do this Lana and Rusev Money in the Bank couples win. I don't care. I don't see why people are into it, but I don't care. So let's move on.
Yeah, that is true, DX. They weren't winning very much in NXT. But I think, to Alex's point, I don't think you want to call up new call-ups and then have them pretty much just job away on the roster. And that's pretty much what the Iconics are doing. I guess they're going to keep them what they were doing on NXT, and that's just jobbing to everybody and progressing others. And I was kind of high on Lana a year or two ago when she was kind of getting involved, and she looked like she had something, and she looked like she was a little bit motivated. But to me, she doesn't have wrestler material to me. She seems like a valet actress. She's not a Bella twin, where Bellas can do, multiple things. I think she just needs to stick to one thing, and that's it. And wrestling is not one of them, unless she can prove me wrong. We'll see. We had Alex's favorite, Andrade Cien Almas, taking on a local jobber, I'm assuming. Absolutely destroyed him. So, Alex, my question to you, who do you think Almas's first feud will actually be against?
I think the way that they're building him, I could see him going against Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see him jump right into a title picture match. Do you think they would give him the title this early? Is there a Mexican tour coming up?
That's actually a very good point. No, I don't know. Obviously, my thoughts. I would love to see Almas take that title, but the truth is, and yes, thank you, Bob Aruski. Bob has been saying that Sin Cara and Almas have been on tour wrestling, so maybe we could see a couple of matches between them. And yes, you could call it bias, but I'm fine with how they're booking Almas because he's an NXT call up, but they're not just throwing him right away into something. They're having him squash jobbers. They're giving the crowd little by little more and more of what he can do in that ring and his personality. And you have Zelina Vega killing it on the mic, so. I'm fine with the slow burn as long as something good comes out of it. And yeah, I would definitely get behind Almas United States title run for sure.
Yeah, good point, Bob Aruski. That Sin Cara could be his first actual real match on SmackDown Live. So yeah, good point there. Props to Bob Aruski there. Next, we had the backstage segment with Carmella, pretty much saying that everybody is waiting for her to slip and fall. She says she's not afraid of Asuka. Charlotte destroyed the myth of Asuka, and Carmella reminds everyone that she beat Charlotte twice. That makes her twice as good as Asuka. Asuka can use all that smoke and mirrors because Asuka should be afraid of her. Not a bad promo from Carmella, but we didn't get no Asuka, no Carmella actually in a match. We didn't even get Charlotte tonight. The roster was very thin tonight, and I'm not really complaining much because we still got pretty solid matches tonight. But let's go to the face-to-face with AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke kind of teases AJ Styles and says that they're going to have a pillow fight match, which I thought was pretty funny. But I thought the promo by Nakamura was horrible. I think we've all said that the English barrier with him is not that great and that they should have just kept it kind of short and sweet when it comes to Shinsuke. But he did finally reveal the stipulation. I think we all kind of predicted it last week, and it will be a last man standing match at Money in the Bank. Still pretty much of a unique way to announce it. He beat the shit out of AJ Styles and then ended up counting to 10 after doing so. Your thoughts, Alex, of a last man standing match between Nakamura and AJ Styles?
Well, you guys called it, so yeah, we're getting the last man. Man, I know that okay, let's just get out of the way. Nakamura should not have prolonged mic time. That's not where his strengths are. That beatdown, that is the Nakamura you want to keep. The badass, like, just lets his action do the talking. Let him do some facials. That's totally fine. Also, I want to give a knee to the face to the person who writes for AJ Styles, because AJ, when was the last time AJ had a good promo?
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Like, even in his promo for Brock Lesnar, you had Daniel Bryan speak for him. It just sucks because we all, I know how much we love AJ, so the writing from doesn't do him any favors. And yeah, with the promo aside, it was terrible, but the beatdown totally made up for it. I love that fire that I feel like we've been missing for so long, since I guess March, between these two. And yeah, I love the way that Nakamura announced the last man standing and the way he ended it with him counting to 10 and everything. So yeah, I think given what we got last week, with this being probably the end of the feud, I hope this is a good one.
Red Sox fan, you make a great point. Went from a dream match to an overworked feud.
Well, you guys know how I feel about Nakamura and Styles.
5 matches since Mania is too much. I absolutely agree with you. And I remember
5 matches and only 1 good match.
And I was thinking that too when I was watching AJ Styles come down to the ring, and I'm thinking, man, this match was a match that I would dream to see when Nakamura first came into WWE, and now it's a match that I'm just waiting for it to move on from and see something new. And it's crazy. It's crazy how that turns out to be sometimes. We'll see what happens next couple of weeks between these two. But yeah, last man standing match. Next, we had the Club versus the Usos in a number 1 contenders match. The winners go on to Money in the Bank to take on the Bludgeon Brothers. And Gallows and Anderson get the win, so they'll be going on to take the Bludgeon Brothers on at Money in the Bank. Thought the tag match was still pretty solid, but I think we can all pretty much guarantee that Gallows and Anderson are just going to be fed to the Bludgeon Brothers. But your thoughts?
Hey, the Club were on TV again. Yeah, I mean, I was happy that the Club. It makes no sense for the Usos to face the Bludgeon Brothers again. I'm glad the Club are getting a tag title shot, but like you said, it's most likely the Bludgeon Brothers destroying them, and hopefully, finally, Sanity comes out. I don't know.
I think the smart move would have Sanity show up at Takeover, but at Money in the Bank, because that crowd would go crazy.
Definitely.
So I think it would be smart for them to maybe have the Bludgeon Brothers win. Maybe they're going to beat the shit out of Anderson and Gallows after, and Sanity shows up and clears house. I think that would definitely give them a nice little pop that WWE probably wants them to get, and probably not a pop like they would get on SmackDown Live. Unless is Money in the Bank, is SmackDown Live going to be in Chicago as well, then maybe they will get the same pop. I don't know. We will see. So, yeah, Bludgeon Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, Gallows and Anderson, Bludgeon Brothers tag title match at Money in the Bank. Yes, and I do remember when I said the Usos were a top 10 tag team, and I still do think that. But I think their time has run out on SmackDown Live. Usos should have moved along. Yes, I agree. Oh, thank you for all the Super Hearts. Man, the Super Hearts have been popping lately. Again, thank you for all the Super Hearts. We're trying to get to 150,000 Super Hearts whenever. Hopefully you'll get there soon. And we're almost, I think, at 4 million, or I believe 4 million hearts, or 5 million hearts. Yeah, 5 million hearts. So if you don't mind, just keep popping those hearts and get us to 5 million. And also, breaking news, breaking news, we're almost at 800 followers on Periscope. So you know what that means, everybody. You know what the 800 followers mean? Another giveaway. So remember, when we get to the 800 follower mark on Periscope, we will get another giveaway. And same thing goes on YouTube. When we hit 40 subscribers on YouTube, Get the Tables podcast on YouTube, we will do another giveaway as well. So hopefully you guys can jump onto YouTube and do that for us. We'd really appreciate that. Sasha Banks signed a 5-year deal with WWE. Oh, good for her. Apparently she doesn't mind the direction that they're taking her right now. And there are cuts coming. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Oh, yeah, thank you, Adabomb. Yes, we're officially back to 1,900 viewers. Yeah, I guess last week was just a scare. We're back to the usual viewership. Thank you guys for popping those hearts and sharing us on Twitter. I do appreciate you guys showing us unimaginable love, especially Saturday night, coming on here like at midnight and having that long of a show was great. It was awesome. So, here we go. We have Naomi versus Sonya Deville for another qualifier match for Money in the Bank. Naomi gets the win. I thought Sonya Deville, I wouldn't have minded Sonya Deville getting the shot, but Naomi, I know they want some creative spots, so she makes sense to be in the match. I don't think she wins it, but I'm glad. I don't mind her being in it. Your thoughts?
And nothing really to talk about for the match. But yeah, I agree. I'm pretty hot. I like Sonya Deville a lot. I think with time she could be a really good heel on the SmackDown roster. And I love her more than Carmella. Carmella's not doing shit for me. So yeah, I'm sure Naomi will have a cool spot in the Money in the Bank, and nothing else really to say.
All right, so Saturday night show, top 5 wrestlers that we think will be released.
Yes, I like that one.
That's a good one. I like that. Good question, Adam Baum. We will be answering. That's a good one on Saturday because we'll go into depth. We'll do releases, top 5 releases, and what company they should consider going to. How about that? ROH, Impact, New Japan, or just hit the indie scene itself.
I've got a few already. I'm looking at the roster right now.
Yeah. Well, okay. How about who we think will be released and who should be released?
Oh, no. 5 is not enough.
That's a good one. Well, that's a good one. We'll do that. That's a good one. I like that one. That's a good one. This is fun. Can you come on earlier on Saturday? This time I was waiting for you to broadcast, but I fell asleep. DX, we came on late on Saturday night because of I was at NXT. That's the reason why we came on so late. Usually we come on the usual 10:30 Eastern, but Saturday we'll try to aim for 10 Eastern. How about that? All right.
One of my picks would be the whole 205 roster.
Top 10 for both. Okay, we'll do 10 wrestlers. 10 wrestlers. All right, we'll do 10 wrestlers.
The whole 205 roster.
All right. 11:30 Eastern. No. Saturday we come on at 10:30 Eastern, right? Yeah, 10:30 Eastern. Yeah. Starts, man, what the hell are you talking about? You drinking again? It's a weekday. Come on now, bro. So the main event tonight was Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy, first ever match between the two. Man, solid main event, with the cherry on top being Samoa Joe on commentary. I loved it. I mean, everything about this main event I loved, especially Samoa Joe talking about the match, and then coming on after the match, coming into the ring and pretty much telling Daniel Bryan he's going to kick his ass next week. And I thought it was a different way to end SmackDown Live. Yes, Daniel Bryan wins, taps out Jeff Hardy. So next week we get Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe in the main event of SmackDown Live for the last spot in the Money in the Bank. Your thoughts, Alex?
Oh, man. just the match Jeff Hardy. I mean, big surprise. These two had great chemistry, a lot of good back and forth, and yeah, I had no complaints with the match. I was just so excited that Samoa Joe was out there because I was like, yes, we have to get a Samoa Joe Daniel Bryan confrontation, and yeah, it was a good match. I love that Daniel Bryan, like you said, because of his injury, he's going for a more grounded submission-based style. He's not just putting people away with the yes lock. I mean, he took one look at Samoa Joe and locked in a heel hook submission, and I loved it. So yeah, I would love to see. And Budweiser said I would love to see this match again, but obviously, irregardless of Big Cass interfering, I'm excited for Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan.
Okay, yeah. So next week, Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan for the last spot in the Money in the Bank. Who you got?
I have Joe. I do think Big Cass is gonna fuck it all up next week.
Red Sox fan says, "And Alex, don't you find Paige has backstage segments as GM and Don't you find Paige has backstage segments as GM and don't come to the ring?"
Wait,
What do you mean by that? That she doesn't come to the ring, she does more stuff backstage? Would that mean anything necessarily?
As opposed to like her coming out? No, I mean,
like Kurt Angle comes out and she don't. Okay.
Oh God, I mean, if that's what you're comparing it to, then yeah, keep her backstage because I think Kurt Angle's god awful.
So the fans do vulgar. Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised we still haven't gotten that New Day Page segment.
No, they're gonna keep her away from New Day. No, what? Yeah, we're never gonna see a New Day and Page segment ever. Yeah, that you would have the perfect opportunity of would have been Page coming out to make the announcement. You know how they did that? They made it to where Miz came all the way backstage, and then Page confronted him and made the match instead of Page just coming out there and saying, "You know what, Miz, it's going to be a match right now." So, yeah, that is a little bit funny that you mentioned that. All right, get your SmackDown Live ratings fingers ready. Alex, let's go back to your last week's ratings first. SmackDown Live for last week, you gave it actually a 3. A 3. So what would you give SmackDown Live tonight?
I'll give it a 3. Definitely better than last night.
Fuck SmackDown and Raw. Wow, okay. I didn't watch it. 3 stars, a 3. I'd give it a 3. I give it a 3. I do give SmackDown Live this. They gave us back-to-back weeks of solid main events. Didn't watch SmackDown, to be honest, but I can't imagine it was any worse than Raw. Yeah, you're right. It was nowhere near as bad as Raw. And it's kind of sad that we've been saying that lately about Raw. And it's only going to probably get worse, man. These next couple of weeks leading up to Money in the Bank. And we'll see. Next week, they haven't really announced any matches for Raw other than Rollins and Jinder Mahal for the IC Championship. So we're going to see what happens. But Saturday night show will be loaded. We'll be touching on this new TV deal for SmackDown Live. We'll be touching on New Japan Pro Wrestling. We'll be touching on any wrestling news or rumors going around the rumor mill. We'll also give you our top 10. Thank you. Oh, speaking of Brandon, I forgot to mention Brandon. Brandon was announced that he has a match, I believe, in July. Brandon will be fighting again in July. So we definitely have to support him. Hopefully we'll be able to watch it with no problems this time. So best of luck to Brandon. And yeah, damn, that was quick. Yeah, July. Look at this guy at Madison Square Garden. Look at this dude at MSG. Look at this guy, man. That's appreciate. That's awesome, dude. That's pretty damn cool, dude. So go over there and support him. He's on Instagram now, so go show some support to our man, the mechanic. and send some positive vibes to him, and also send some positive vibes to Dave as well. He's going through some tough times at the moment. So the positive vibes today would be very much appreciated. You could definitely tell, um, you know, it was a different night tonight. We went by pretty quick. I mean, it's 10:30 already. Usually we go a little bit over, but we're pretty much done for tonight.
Dave's not coming back. I heard that Dave's not coming back to All In.
Hey, look at that! It's for Glory, biggest promotion in kickboxing, basically the WWE of kickboxing. Look at Brandon Coutinho, man. That's awesome. That's awesome, Brandon. You deserve it, brother. You've been working hard, man. Yes, 2,100 viewers tonight. We really appreciate all the support. I think you all knew how down I was last week, especially seeing the viewership and the lack of, I guess, interaction in the chat room. But we did have the usuals come in here, and y'all guys know who the usual are. So you guys came in here, showed support, and thank you guys for coming in here tonight and then dropping those super hearts. Man, y'all are awesome, man. Y'all mean a lot to us, and can't wait for we hit 800 followers so we can do that giveaway. WWE is garbage, worst booking ever. Yeah, for the right now, WWE is pretty much garbage. Tony and Alex versus Kelsey and Dave. Then we all turn on. Yeah,
I'm happy.
how that how that works, man. It's all me against the world. I'm John Cena right here. I'm John Cena, man.
I'm telling you guys, the real story is that Dave is currently trying to renegotiate his contract with Tony. So as a result, he's not going to show up until All-Star Cast when he's on Kelsey's show. It's a heel turn, guys.
Yeah, Dave's holding out, man. Dave is holding out. Yeah, he's on a holdout. Nah, Dave's going through some time, so we'd really appreciate any positive vibes towards the Bizarre one.
We miss you, man.
Thanks again for everybody popping in. Brandon, again, greatest luck to you in July. I'm sure we'll have you on the show before your fight and afterwards to show some support and get some guys to order that pay-per-view and maybe even go to the show if they can. Thursday, we'll be back again, right back in the saddle, everybody, for NXT and Impact on Pop. Impact's looking pretty good this week. We find out who King is, the guy that is, I guess, kidnapped or attacked Conan. We have the X Division title match between Matt Sydal and who? Oh, gosh, just drew a blank. And Phantasmo, that's right. So it should be a solid Impact. And then tomorrow night, isn't it? What else have they announced for NXT?
Seconds, I'll bring it up right now.
I'm not sure what they have announced. Think of King as another mentor. Interesting. As another mentor. Is it Chavo Guerrero? It's Chavo Guerrero, isn't it?
Is Chavo still in there?
It's Chavo Guerrero, isn't it? That's the guy who took out. It's the one that took out Conan, right?
Okay. So, Tony.
Yes, sir.
So, for tomorrow, NXT, we got TM61 versus Heavy Machinery. Lacey versus Kairi Sane.
Okay.
And let me see what else we got. Oh, and then we have Lars Sullivan versus Ricochet and Velveteen Dream in the handicap.
Ooh, yeah, that should be interesting.
NXT
handicap match. Okay.
Be good. I'm all for Kairi Sane, so let's do this.
You're worthless to me? Well, chats are coming to. Well, you're worthless to me. Enjoy the Block Brother party, my friend. Drinks are free. Food is free. But you're still a piece of shit. So NXT, it looks like Impact will be a little bit probably better than NXT this week. But we'll see about that. Ricochet and Dream versus Lars Sullivan. I'm actually kind of interested to see how that ends up going. Can Dream and Ricochet work as a team? We'll find out. I don't know who Nick Gers is, Rain, for real. Is that even a real wrestling person? I don't even know who that is. So good luck to Nick Gers. I wish him the best. I'll RKO your ass. All right, well, come on over and RKO me, but I don't know how you're gonna do it in the block party. All these people, and like you get all these damn weirdos late at night. It's a Tuesday, man. Go to bed. Go to work.
If you guys are gonna talk about Sean, anything else you're gonna?
If you're gonna troll the Undertaker, because there's a lot of shit you can talk about the Undertaker. Hey, congratulations to the Houston Rockets for winning tonight, making it a series. Good job, guys. And
blowout this time, so.
You're absolutely right, Bobruski. It is Periscope. You can't you got to assume the worst pretty much when it comes to Periscope. But Periscope's been very nice to us. We got a lot of you lovely people out of it, so I really appreciate everything. Let's do a quick shout out tonight. We got Jody Mania, we got Budweiser, Peck and Rod, Adam Awesome, Bobruski, Maz Fan, Reezy, Will Miller, Bliss Side, Red Sox Fan, Adam Bomb, Jeffrey Cross. DX, who else? We got Crosscheck Hockey. Sure, thank you. And there's 7 more viewers I cannot see. So if you're in here and I did not announce your name, please say hello in the chat, so I can give y'all guys a shout out. Young Raph, I think I saw Zero in here. I'm not sure who else. Texas Kid for Life. I would start watching Impact Texas Kid for Life. It's starting to get pretty good. So. Yep. Yeah, I think that's going to pretty much wrap up tonight's show. I think we did good. We went a little bit over an hour and a half. Budweiser, I think, announced. But everybody, thank you again for the amounts. There you go. Yeah, Generation X Zero's in here. Only time he says your name since hosts don't read chat. Look, fuck off, Red Sox fan. Fuck face. He's threatening me and telling me I'm not going to last till SummerSlam. I'm not the Undertaker. I don't run and hide and show up the night of the event. All right? Just saying. Just want to make sure you all know that wrestling is fake.
This wouldn't be a Get the Table show without one of those.
Yeah, just don't forget to hit the follow button, Fake News CNN. I'd appreciate it. Just hit that follow button. I think she's been in this show before and said the same thing. That picture in the screen name looks absolutely familiar.
He's the one that says all wrestling fans are Trump supporters. I remember.
That was her, right? That was her.
I remember her.
Yes. I remember. I remember now. That's pretty crazy. All right, guys, we're going to end it there. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Y'all were awesome. Again, thank you for joining us on a late Tuesday night. I hope everybody has a great rest of the week and hopes everybody can join us on Thursday. I'd really appreciate the support you guys have been giving us and all the support you have been giving the channel on Twitter, on YouTube, and here on Periscope. As always, we know we're awesome. Look at Adam Bomb. Thank you again from the bottom of our hearts. Appreciate you guys joining us. Y'all have a great couple of days until Thursday, and we will see you on Thursday. Thank you, everybody.
Peace.